Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to Sky Factory 2.5. So it has been a while since I've been on here, and I apologize for that. I've been really caught up in the Technode Firmacraft series. There's going to be some major changes to the Technode Firmacraft series, and we'll be going over those in the next episode there. But I figured I would show you around what I've been working on here in between episodes, and we'll move on to what we're going to be doing today. So first off, over here I took down my auto crafting system that I had down below using the transfer nodes and world interaction upgrades and set it up here, and this is set up to be making us the Imperio Essence. So all that we have to do is drop our regular Minicio Essence into this chest and it will automatically craft everything out. So that is really nice. You can see we've got quite a bit of the Imperio Essence so far. I have been using these farming stations a little, but I'm not overly impressed with how they work, and I think we're going to be setting up just the standard Mine Factory Reloaded harvesters for these guys and planters. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing there. Now also I did make some ghast crop, and yeah, we need to be making some gas tiers. We've got a long ways to go before we can do that, but we are working towards that. I also set up my furnaces here, and I set them up to be auto-filled. So I've got one set of transfer pipes here on the back coming out of a better barrel. This is filled with charcoal, and that's keeping fuel in the furnaces. Then the top line gives us what is going to be smelted. Now, I don't have it auto-extracting. It is simply sitting here. Right now I have these making charcoal, and I have quite a bit of logs in here still, so I just come by here periodically and grab the items out of the furnaces. Now, I'm doing this because we definitely need more power, and we're going to be looking at some uses on that power today. Now, I said I was wanting to get to flight, and I was wanting to use the the magical crops to do that, but we need to kill a wither before we can do that, and we're nowhere near that yet. So instead, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a Simply jetpack. So to do that, I went ahead and made an induction smelter, and this is something that we were going to be needing pretty much no matter what. But before we really get going into making anything using ores, I really want to get it to where we are producing ores automatically. So we're going to be making the auto sieve. Now, originally we have this automatic sieve from X Astris. This thing will sieve single blocks really slowly. We can put in these speed upgrades. I guess we need to look those up. That's not the right upgrade. So there's speed upgrade. It is, which one? Maybe it's not speed? Well, anyway, there is an upgrade for that can make it go faster, and then there's also a fortune upgrade for it to increase the returns on it. But this is not what we want to do, because we have Compressum in here, and that gives us the ability to make these heavy sieves, which can sieve compressed sand, gravel, and dust. Well, we have the regular auto sieve from Compressum, and we have the auto heavy sieve. Now, this auto heavy sieve requires blocks of steel and steel ingots, as well as a heavy sieve. So to make the steel, we're supposed to be able to take iron ingots and coal, and it should use 2 pulverized coal with 1 iron ingot to make 1 steel ingot. Now, to make the heavy sieve, we're going to need 20 steel ingots, so this is going to take a little bit. So I'm going to let this do its thing, and I'll be back in just a little bit. So I have everything set up here to make the heavy auto sieve, or the auto heavy sieve, I guess. And yeah, we're going to make that up. And also I set up here for 2 of the fortune upgrade recipes from X Astris. I hope these guys work in this heavy auto heavy sieve. But if they don't, I guess we'll just make the regular sieve, the regular automatic sieve. But we're going to set this down here. I've already set up, I've got a gold chest with a transfer node to feed into it, and then a transfer node to pull out into another gold chest. So hopefully this will work. We've got compressed gravel going into it here, and looks like a book slot. Okay, so what can we do with Compressum? Well, I don't see anything about a book here. But, yeah, unfortunately those are not going to work in there, but we will be getting diamonds and emeralds and everything else here now. Huh, that's kind of weird that those steel ingots went through there. Okay, whatever. But, so, yeah, this thing is going to sit here and sieve the compressed gravel, so the next thing we need to be making compressed gravel automatically. So right now, to make compressed gravel, I go to a regular crafting table and I just hold W and click on the gravel and it will just fill in the crafting grid. Well, that's great if I want to sit here and do this all day long. But I don't really want to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is set up one of these auto crafting system using extra utilities, the transfer nodes, and a world interaction upgrade to turn the gravel into compressed gravel. So I'll probably end up doing that underneath. We're also going to have to set up, I have the cobblestone generator right here right now, so we're going to have to set that up to be automatically pushing into a pulverizer, the pulverizer automatically pushing into the auto crafting system, and then that going into the auto sieve. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit of work to get all that going, so I'm going to try to figure out how to get all this together, and I'll be back in a little bit. So I've been doing a little checking into the Compressum mod, and wow, all I can say is wow. So this slot in this guy is for efficiency and fortune books. So we could make ourselves an efficiency 5, fortune 3 book and put that in here, and it's going to give those effects to the sieve. Now the other thing is we can take our bacon mushroom burger here, and you'll see up in NEI right under the skin where it says Dustin, now it has a speed boost of 12. So we can feed this person and it'll go faster. And you can definitely see that this is just absolutely flying through the stuff now. We're almost out of the compressed gravel. But so apparently we can set up like an autonomous activator or something to continually feed this thing and make it go faster. So that's pretty cool. But the other thing is we don't have to set up that extra utilities auto crafting, because we have this auto compressor from Compressum. So this takes an iron block, 4 iron ingots, and 4 crafting tables. Not real bad for me anymore, but what this does is it will take power, and apparently it's got a constant power drain. But if we take and drop some gravel in here, it will automatically compress, and I guess it only takes 5 RF per tick the whole time. So it's not real bad, it's reasonably fast. And so what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to set this up back behind here, and I'm going to have to grab myself a couple more of these transfer nodes. So let's go ahead and hop up on top of here. I'm going to set up this auto compressor. Yeah, right there, I guess. So we should not... Let's just see. If we put that in there, that could be a problem. Well, here, let's go ahead and grab a whole bunch of gravel. And we're going to drop a whole bunch of this in here. So what I want to do is have a transfer node pulling this out. Oh, that's going to be a problem too. So Yep, this isn't going to be a good position. So let's go ahead and break that back up. We'll go ahead and take this guy and those. So we'll drop our compressed gravel in there. So I think we're going to want to put this auto compressor. Actually, if we're doing the auto compressor, we don't even need the chest anymore. So we'll go ahead and grab the chest out of here. We'll take the auto compressor and put it here. Yeah, that should work. We'll require a little bit of piping. Then we can drop our gravel in there. Now, unfortunately, right now we are outputting our gravel over here. It looks like the compressor can keep up with the sieve, so let's go ahead and see. So when it's fed, it's still, the compressor can keep up. So we're going to have to figure out now how to get our gravel from there to there. And yeah, there's still a few things to figure out here. I'll probably just pull all of this stuff back out of here and maybe like put it down inside of the island. But we are getting just absolutely huge amounts of stuff here. We already have quite a bit of the broken iron ore. Now what I understand is this thing will also compress down our ores for us. So we can auto craft a lot of this stuff. I guess what we could probably do is have things like our coal, diamonds, emeralds, flint, and lapis pulled out automatically, and the rest of this stuff can go into a compressor and make our gravels. So yeah, there's going to be a few things still to figure out. So yep, we're going to work on that a little bit, and I'll be back in a little bit again. So I think I've kind of changed my mind on how I want to do this. We have another item from Compressum that will come in really handy for what we're going to be needing to do here. And that is the auto hammer. So we have the auto compressed hammer as well, but the auto hammer takes just a diamond hammer, 2 weighted pressure plates, and 6 iron ingots. Well, that would be great, but we also have the auto compressed hammer, which is going to take a compressed diamond hammer, 2 weighted pressure plates, and 6 steel ingots. Well, we have all of that available. So we have our 18 diamonds here that'll make 9 regular diamond hammers. So now we'll go ahead and make these into a compressed hammer, compressed diamond hammer, and we place this into the middle of the crafting grid, and we get our auto compressed hammer. So this thing will work just like, well, pretty much all of the rest of these. It's going to take a little bit of power, and it is going to smash compressed items. Now, one thing that I found out was the compressor here can compress cobblestone. So if we dump in some cobblestone, this will automatically compress it down for us, and we'll get our compressed cobblestone. So then what we can do is we can take this compressed cobblestone and dump it in here. So I'm not sure what these 2 slots are for. I did not know that those existed. So let's see here. We can't put a compressed stone hammer in there. So this is going to slowly make gravel. We can then pipe this gravel back into the auto compressor, and that will then send it through the auto heavy sieve. So there's a few things for us to figure out here. Now, another thing that I'm doing currently is smelting my pulverized ores through the induction smelter with sand. Now, what this does is gives the possibility of a slag output. The return is still the same on the ingots. It's still 1 pulverized to 1 ingot. But we get this slag, and the reason I want this slag, well, first off, we can make clay with it, with a couple of slags, some dirt, and water. But this is the thing that I really want, is the phyto grow. Because we can get rid of some of our farms if we have this phyto grow. And this just takes wood chippings or sawdust, some niter, which I believe we can get this by pulverizing sandstone, and slag. And let's just double check we do have some saltpeter essence. But yeah, we can pulverize sandstone. That's going to give 2 sand and a 50% chance of niter. Or we can do blitz rods. I would imagine then that means well, no. So the better option there would be to run it through the sag mill, because it does give a 40% chance of the other 2. So yeah, there's something to that, but that'll be another episode. So we do need to figure out how to make this thing go a little faster. The other thing is I found out that we can run some other items through here, like for instance, coal. So if we put coal into this, we get coal blocks. The same goes for lapis. I believe it works for the redstone as well. I suppose we can try that out. And I would imagine it's probably even going to work for the glowstone. So this compressor really does a lot of stuff for us. And yeah, we're going to have to pull some garbage out of there. So yep, it'll compress the redstone down. There's a lot of stuff that we can do here. The trouble is we're going to need a lot more of these compressors. So I think I'm going to start laying this out down in the bowels of the island, figure out how we're going to set it up so that everything will work good, and I will be back in a little bit. So after a little bit of experimenting around, this is kind of the system that I've come up with. So first off, I moved my pulverizer down here. I'm going to have to make a couple more of these because, well, quite frankly, this auto-compressed hammer is kind of slow, but I have found ways to increase its speed. So I've got the pulverizer running here. We're outputting everything from that into another compressor. We're getting both compressed gravel and compressed sand out of this. And that is running into the heavy auto sieve. Now, one issue that I have noticed is the heavy auto sieve cannot keep up right now. So every time that I feed it, of course, it gets a lot faster and it kind of catches back up. But we're going to have to figure out something with that. So next up, I have the output from the heavy auto sieve running into a transfer node that runs across here and then into a chest. So I have 3 of the auto compressors here, and what I have found via experimentation is that basically 3 of them should cover all possible items that need to be compressed. So as it passes by here, it's going to search for an available spot to put the item. If it cannot find a spot, it will dump it into the chest. And so then we get things like cocoa beans, Certus quartz crystals, ancient spores, cactus seeds, yellorium dust, basically anything that we're going to get that is not compressible. Then also I have transfer nodes coming out of these auto compressors, pulling the items that are being made out and brought over here. So we're getting things that I didn't even know could be compressed, like quicksilver, amber blocks, blocks of emerald, lapis, coal, and then of course all of our ores and compressed flint. So that's working really good. Now I also have our auto compressed hammer over here. And right now I had to move some things around, so I've got this gold chest here. It had a big backlog of compressed cobble, and this guy is completely full, waiting for me to change things back over. But we can speed this up. And the way to speed it up is by putting a compressed diamond hammer into these slots here. And I'm assuming a second one will speed it up even more. Now, one thing that I do like is the fact that this diamond hammer, this compressed diamond hammer, does not take durability damage after every block broken. So these guys last a bit longer than anticipated based on their durability. So what I'm doing right now is just waiting for some more diamonds so that I can make another of these compressed diamond hammers, and I think this will speed it up even more. Now you can see the speed it's going right now. If I remove this compressed diamond hammer, you can see it basically cuts the speed in half. So I would imagine it's going to go twice as fast again if we put another compressed diamond hammer in there. But so yeah, we definitely have something that we need to figure out here with getting this auto heavy sieve automatically fed. And yeah, we're producing tons of ores. The next thing after that is going to be bringing these items to a pulverizer or running them back through the sieve or the hammer or something so that we can increase our yield even further. So I've got a few more things to try to figure out, and I will be back in a little bit. So, quite a few changes here to the automatic ore processing system. So I've built a couple more pulverizers. This set over here is doing nothing but pulverizing cobble into sand for the induction smelter. So we have the first one taking the cobblestone, the sand additional output will go straight into the induction smelter. The gravel that we get from that comes over here into the other pulverizer. Now that is going to send the sand to the induction smelter, and the dust will be collecting over here. So eventually we'll have a full barrel of dust. We'll have to deal with that later. So this thing is doing pretty good. It is smelting tons and tons of ores. We do have a little bit of an issue with it, and that is that if we get an odd item into it, it's not going to work. So if we throw this piece of pulverized gold in here, this will just sit there. Well, I guess it had some gold. But this will just sit there and not do anything unless there's some gold over here to put into it. And you can see we are really starting to run low on power. So we're also going to have to look at increasing our power generation. But so that is a problem. I set a filter in over here. This is only taking out our ore gravels. I removed the ability for this to have the sand, so now we're only dealing with the gravel type items. And so because of that, this last compressor is not even used. But you can see we already have 12 blocks diamonds. This is working absolutely phenomenally. This is only about an hour's worth of processing. So I mean, this is really pumping out the items. And yeah, I'm really liking that. And so we are getting tons of slag, and I guess I've got some more slag here to put in there. We're getting tons of the slag, so we'll be able to start making our phyto grow here pretty soon to raise our crops a little faster. And this is going to give us all of the ingots that we could possibly need. Now, one thing that I may want to do as well is to put another one of these auto compressors here underneath the induction smelter, and it will turn all of these ingots into blocks. Now, I don't know if I really want to do that, but I could. We'll just have to see how things are looking for storage. So obviously our power issues are going to have to be resolved, and we're still having some issues with, odd items when they show up. So those are some things we'll have to work on. Now, another thing that I did, I went ahead, I guess we'll go back down here and take a look at this. So I have not had to be feeding this auto heavy sieve, and that's because I got myself an Efficiency 5 book. So took a lot of levels. You can see I don't have the 100 and some levels anymore. I did tons and tons of level 1 enchants on this enchanting table. I have tons of books left over, and I got however many books it takes to get level 1 efficiency up to level 5. And we just picked up some garbage. So yeah, there's been a lot of levels used and a lot of enchanting done. Well, I did not have enough levels, so I had to spend some time over here at the mob farm. Well, I had a creeper blow up, and it really made a mess of things there. So I went ahead and took some obsidian and chiseled that, and I still have a couple of pieces left. But so I placed out some chiseled obsidian, and now we don't have to worry about these guys blowing up. If we, well, here, let's get some of these things out of the way here. Oh man, that is loud. So we're gonna try to get rid of some of these annoying mobs here. And I did not want to kill the creeper, but whatever. So yeah, we've got Here, we can let that one blow up, so you can see now it won't do any damage to the structure here. So we can just pretty much sit there and kill our mobs, don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's good. We got a few more items here that, yep, whoop, don't want you to go in there. Okay. So, yep, we've been taking care of that. And also I set up a little bit of an automated thing here to get salt because, well, we didn't have enough salt. But I was using it to make paper because I needed books for enchanting. But we have tons and tons of cheese here. Got a little bit of the soy milk, an awful lot of the bacon mushroom burgers, and our farms are ready to be harvested again. So yeah, there's been a little bit of work done here while is between clips. But we do need to get some more power. I'm not sure how we're going to go about doing that. It might be time to take a look at big reactors. We are starting to get a little bit of the yellorium dust, but we are far from having enough. Now, the yellorium dust comes from sand. We are currently not sieving any sand, so we'll have to take a look at that here soon. But I think I'm going to have to check and see how the length is doing on the episode, and I will be back in just a little bit. Okay, Herobrine was here. Whatever. Okay, so really quickly before we go, I'm going to be doing a little bit of work on getting our power situation a little bit under control. So first off, I went ahead and pulled the 2 generators off of our Ender.io farming stations. So we've got those over here. They helped for a little while because they were fully charged, but now once again we are completely discharged in all generators. So we are going to go ahead and move up to the culinary generators. Now this is what I originally had in mind when I started into Pam's Harvest Craft. So we're going to go ahead and make up 64 of these. Now I only have 3 of the transfer nodes left for the energy, so we're going to get 3 of these ×8 culinary generators. I'm going to place these down here, and we're going to go ahead and give them some bacon mushroom burgers. So this makes 448 RF a tick for, what was that, about 4.5, 5 seconds? So 6.5 seconds, almost 7 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and grab a few stacks of those, and we're going to get those placed into all of these generators. So we should have, yep, just a little bit more in each one of those. There we go. So now all of those are filled with bacon mushroom burgers, and we are going to have to be considering getting this stuff auto harvested and auto crafted. So that's going to be some stuff we're going to have to look into in the next episode. Probably going to end up putting these culinary generators underneath the farming area, and we may have to look into getting some tesseracts set up as well. Because, well, quite frankly, we need to be able to transfer that power a little bit easier. But we are pretty much out of time here for today, so I just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts or tips or tricks or any spawnable spaces on top of a bunch of better barrels, go ahead and leave that down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!